Welcome to Cata Vlog 12, December 2024. So I've completed a whole 12 months worth of Cata Vlogs for this channel now. Once I finish this one, it's 7th of December as I'm recording this. We're enjoying a storm. It's called Storm Darach, and it's caused an impact for the whole of the British Isles. But here in London, I think we're getting relatively lightly. The wind was really strong last night. It has eased a bit, but it's pouring down rain again right now. I do worry about all these storms. I'm glad I was able to talk with family members earlier. They haven't yet been cut off, but lots of people have been cut off. There's been a lot of disruption to power supplies. The north coast, North Wales in particular, has been hard hit. Anglesey, and the winds have gusted up to over 90 miles an hour. And Natasha Devon was talking about it on her show this evening, and I phoned in because I think it's a really important matter to talk about climate change, the climate crisis, and what we do about it. And there's an awful lot we can do. And the proactive element of insulating our homes is really important. We could help reduce our energy bills a lot if we eco-renovated our homes and built new homes with enough insulation. So I talked about that. I've mentioned in previous years about COP27, COP28, and we've just had COP29, and it overrun again because there were a lot of disagreements between the global north members like the UK and much of the West and the global south, the poorer countries, who haven't had the same opportunities to develop as we have, and they deserve to. And the onus does lie with us in the wealthier countries to cut back much more and to go for net zero as quickly as possible. If we insulated more homes, we are now being able to build onshore wind turbines as well as offshore, and there's more solar panels. I think there ought to be a lot more solar panels on roofs of buildings, especially every new build that's facing south, and especially in the south of England, southwest of England, where there's the most sunshine in this country. So there's that, there's climate change. I've talked a bit about the LGBTQIA plus calendar, and I found out in the last week that we've had Gender Fay Day or Gender Doe Day, which is slightly away from fully trans feminine. And then after that was Gender Fawn Day, which is like the equivalent on the other side, which is just a little bit away from transmasc. So there's 2 days that I wasn't aware before. Last week we had World AIDS Day on Sunday. That's a very poignant day to think about all of the people the whole LGBTQ plus community has lost over the decades, especially during the height of the AIDS crisis. Now at least there are medicines to prevent the transmission of AIDS and HIV. With it being undetectable, it's untransmissible. We need to ensure that the groundbreaking progress, the breakthroughs that have been made on HIV and AIDS is provided globally so that people don't suffer anywhere in the world. I don't think we take healthcare seriously enough, all forms of healthcare. The way COVID does not make the news anymore. We are apparently now facing what has been called a quademic, a four-pronged situation because of the threats of flu, RSV, norovirus, and COVID, all having an impact on the community at large. We need to be aware and take offers of vaccination, especially by the NHS here in the UK, but if you're somewhere else in the world and you're offered that as part of your healthcare, then please take it up to protect yourself, especially if you're in a vulnerable group. And there's another thing, and that's trans healthcare. I came across an article earlier today in which a larger proportion of trans adults are being refused HRT even after they've been on courses for 2 or 3 years or even more. And that really feels shocking, unbelievable. The article suggested it was one of the consequences of the CAS report because there's a lot of doubt now being placed on trans healthcare and a resistance towards helping trans people. I've been on HRT for well over 35 years. I may talk about that more on a future video, but I've had continuous HRT since then. It's a lifelong treatment that's absolutely helped ensure I have good mental health. I can't imagine how I would have coped without HRT for all these years. It really has had a beneficial impact on me over more than 3.5 decades. And so the thought that it can be withdrawn from people is absolutely shocking. If it happens to you, I would complain. I'd contact my Member of Parliament. I'd write to the health authority. I would attempt to find another GP. Back in 1995, I had moved home. I was in the sort of Tottenham Wood Green area, West Green, and I moved home several times. I moved to places like Southwark and ended up in a really major predicament of not having a settled place to live. So I was sofa surfing, staying with friends, but eventually I managed to get some short life housing a little over 30 years ago now. When I moved to, I registered with a doctor, and the doctor, when I asked for a repeat prescription, the doctor flat out refused and said, no, I'm not giving that. It's against principles. I didn't believe in HRT. So I couldn't get my prescription even though I'd been on it for over 6 years at that point. That left me in a predicament where I had to wait 3 months before I could register somewhere else. I wasn't well at that point, but I'd been living in damp conditions as well, in awful conditions. I got tuberculosis as well, but not having my HRT really knocked me as well. I managed to get a supply and I was able to register with a new doctor who did start the supply again. 3 months, that felt desperate enough. My heart goes out to anyone who is in that situation. So that's all I wanted to say on that subject. We're now in the run-up to the Christmas and holiday season, and so I'll wish you seasonal greetings and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and whatever festivities that you recognise and celebrate. Happy winter solstice, Santa Lucia's Day. The sun has set at the earliest it will set, and it is now start setting later again. One of the first signs that we are turning back towards the spring and summer solstice. So all the best. Hope you have a great month ahead, and I hope if you are celebrating anyway, you have a good time. If you're having a difficult time, please reach out for help. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks if you like this. Thanks for subscribing, and take care. Bye.